guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here. So finally, the malls have opened up and one of my favorite video game stores is now open again. So I stopped back in, picked up some pretty awesome items. So let's go ahead and see what I got. So if you guys are ever in Maryland and ever near White Marsh Mall in Maryland, I would highly recommend stopping by ReGen and checking out everything that they have. They have tons of great deals on games, consoles, controllers, and just some other pretty awesome video game related items. Of course, in their jam-packed store, they have some arcade machines, so it really makes it interactive for anyone who stops by. They also just did a recent remodel and painted some things in the store, so it's just really awesome, and I'm just so excited that they're finally open up again because they just have some amazing deals there, and every time I stop in, I find something else that I need for the collection, something that I've had my eye on for quite some time, and something that you just don't see everywhere. So today I picked up a few items from that location, and I'm just really excited to show them off. So of course, I scored a couple Super Nintendo games right away. I was actually shocked I didn't have these in my collection. So finally, I found this very clean and very cheap copy of Super R-Type. So I'm really excited to have this for the Super Nintendo. I believe I have some of the more expensive shoot 'em up style games, but this one is one that is such a classic. You have to have it in your collection. I'm just really excited that I found it for such an amazing deal. And then I have this Firepower game. So this is Firepower 2000. So this one also looks like a pretty awesome, inexpensive game. Wasn't very expensive, but it was a little bit more than some commons. So I'm really excited to try out this game as well, see what it has to offer, and just see if it's any fun. So those are the Super Nintendo pickups that I had. And then of course this game has been on my list for quite some time. This is called Deep Fighter, and this is for the Sega Dreamcast. This one actually looks like a really cool game. It's kind of like this underwater theme. Kind of looks like you're in some sort of submarine. It has a couple discs that came with it, so that is pretty cool. It says, lead the last stand to save a world deep under the sea. Combat rich environments. It has dogfight, multiple enemies, 8 different vehicles with a wide variety of weapons and tools, 6 expansive environments to do battle in, 8 bosses to conquer, 36 missions each, with their own objectives. Intelligent AI hunts the player. Stunning visuals. It says there's 100 wide aspect cutscenes, and there's just amazing graphics only possible on the Sega Dreamcast, and living and breathing environments that react and evolve around you. So this one actually looks like a really fun game. This one, I don't generally see it very often. It's not very expensive, but it's still a little bit more than your common games. So this one I'm actually really looking forward to playing, getting some gameplay of this game, and just seeing what it has to offer, as it looks really sweet. And then of course onto some more Sega games. I actually picked up this copy of Alex Kidd, The Lost Stars. So this is another series that I've been trying to complete and get for the longest time. I usually never find them complete with the cartridge and the manual inside. So the second that I saw this, I had to pick it up. It had a pretty reasonable price on it as well. And it says, the kid is back, it's Alex, the little prince with big ears and unlimited courage. When danger threatens the miracle world of Ares, Alex Kidd is there to meet any challenge. Join Alex in 14 rounds of adventure to worlds where anything is possible. You have legs that jump like steel springs and magical cloud shot to stop the enemy. But the key to getting the stars back is strategy. So this one I'm just so excited to have on the Sega Master System. There's still a couple more games in the series that I need to complete and add to the collection. And anytime that I find them local, I have to pick them up. They're way better than just buying some of these games on eBay where you don't have to pay a fortune to have them in the collection. And then on to this game for the Sega Genesis. This is Flashback, The Quest for Identity. So this one is pretty awesome. It has an exclusive Marvel comic inside, and this one just says there's multiple areas. There's Planet Titan, New Washington, Death Tower, Earth, Paradise Club, and Planet Morphs. So this actually looks really cool. It says get the whole story, 14-page flashback comic book from Marvel Comics inside. Then of course when I opened it up, it had tons of little booklets and everything in here. So of course we have this Marvel Comics book, and this is Flashback, The Quest for Identity. So this is actually really cool as it's a full comic in here, and the art on here is just pretty awesome. Then of course while flipping through this, I noticed that whoever had this copy before, they actually put some of these passwords on here. So this was their little handwritten note that they made for this game. So anytime I find original receipts or anything like that, I think it's really great with the history along with these games. So here, whoever it was, they put all of these different passcodes on here, and this is even dated. So this is 1/15 of 94, 1/15 of 94, 1/15 of 94. So this is just insane that someone had kept all of this in its original condition since 1994, and this is just crazy. So here we have another little paper on here. It says join us for a stellar weekend, and it just says win a trip for 2. And then it has this information: get a grip, Sega Game Gear, color portable video game system. Of course this pamphlet opens up and we have tons of information, tons of games mentioned for the Sega Game Gear. So this is definitely great to have in the collection. It's just really awesome. And then of course we have a poster on the back side of it, and this is for Batman Returns on the Sega Game Gear. So this is just really cool. It has all of these different games on here. Taz games, Shinobi, Sonic the Hedgehog, Tailspin, Ariel, Disney's The Little Mermaid, and just some other really awesome and fun games on here. And then of course we have this right here. It says Stumped. Call US Gold Tips and Information Game Line. And now available, Flashback, The Quest for Identity Strategy Guide. And then we have 2 more papers, and this one also has some codes on here. And these are some of the easy codes for Flashback. So this is pretty sweet. And then on to this Sega Genesis game. We actually have this classic right here. I remember watching this back in the day. This is The Adventures of Mighty Max. So of course I had some of the toys back in the day. I remember watching this. So this is right here for the Sega Genesis. It says free inside, premiere issue of Adventures of Mighty Max comic book. So here we have all of this booklet information, and there's tons of stuff included in it. So it looks like we have the instruction manual on the front part here. Tells you all of the different levels, the stories, the screens, some warranty information, and then of course on this back side it says Mighty Max and the Grand Slam. So it says The Adventures of Mighty Max, and we have another comic book. So this is really cool that I found a couple different games that featured comic books in them. So this is definitely great to have. It looks like it's in very great shape, and usually whenever I try and find games like this, it's hard to find them with some of the original stuff inside, so this is definitely pretty sweet. And then while I was there, someone actually traded in a Sega Saturn, and I scored this pretty awesome third-party controller for it. They just threw it in with the purchase, so this is definitely pretty sweet, as this is one that I did not have. Seems to be in very great shape. It just needed a good cleaning. and it looks like all the buttons and everything work on it. So this is a high frequency Sega Saturn controller. And then on to some more games here. So some of these games were actually in their inexpensive bin. So this is Tournament of Legends, and of course it's made by Sega at the bottom. It says the wildest Wii fighting game yet, and this is by Nintendo Power. It says that comment was made by, it says Giant Legends, Weapon and Magic Duels, Massive 3D Fighting. So this one actually looks like a great game. It came 100% complete here. Has tons of information on the characters. They just look pretty awesome, pretty massive. And this one actually looks like a pretty interesting game. So I'm not exactly sure how it will play, but I had to add it to the collection and find out. And then along with this PlayStation 2 game. So of course, I had to pick up this game. This is a Working Designs title. This is Gun Griffin Blaze. Of course it has this shiny aspect to it, as most of the Working Designs games do. They really went above and beyond trying to make it stand out. So of course it has all of this on both sides, even on this side label right here. This is one that's pretty inexpensive in the collection. Of course inside we have this game disc. It says Working Designs, and then even the manual is just a lot thicker. It has this shiny aspect to it. Even up here at the top, it has this large character on it, and everything is a thicker material, and there's so much color in this book, so this is really a great find for such an inexpensive deal. So of course I am really far behind when it comes to the Working Design games, and a buddy of mine, if you actually watch his channel, he is Blips and Pips on YouTube. We've actually worked together before. He's been over here several times. I go over his house, and he just has an amazing collection, especially his Working Design shelf. So I'll go ahead and drop a link below so that you guys can check out his video, as he has pretty close to a full set of Working Design games. He has a lot of extras along with them as well. So that is just amazing. Some of those games are just so expensive. They're hard to find. They're just great titles. So hopefully one day I can go ahead and add some more, just like he has done. And then on to this game for the PlayStation 3. It was actually buy two, get one. So this one is another Sega title. This is Storm Rise. So here, this is for the PlayStation 3. It comes complete. It has this large manual on here. So this is actually pretty cool. Not exactly sure what this game will play like, but it says taking strategy to new heights. And it just has some online stuff on here as well. So I figured I would give this one a try and try and add some more Sega titles to the collection. And then on to this title. This is another one that I just grabbed just to add it. This is Sacred 3. So I don't really know too much about this game. It says victory is ours, glory is mine. Play as one of 5 legendary heroes, each with unique skills and weapons. Master special attacks to quickly decimate hordes of enemies. Perform powerful co-op combat arts to defeat epic bosses. Level up and customize your hero. Outshine your fellow warriors. Equip dynamic weapon spirits to empower your journey. So this one looks pretty interesting. It kind of looks like one of those, it says hack and slash style games for up to 4 players. So this one should be pretty interesting. It has some extra stuff in here as well along with the disc. So I figured I would try it out. So this last item has actually been on my want list for quite some time. It's been in their store on one of the top shelves for such the longest time, and every single time I go in there, I see this thing, I want it, not sure where I'm gonna put it, what I'm gonna do with it, but it has to stay sealed, as this thing is just so amazing. So right here, this is for all of those Twisted Metal fans on the PlayStation. This was one of my go-to games growing up. Me and my brother used to play this all the time. We had so much fun. And of course, I would always pick Sweet Tooth, the ice cream truck. So right here, this is actually the first time I've ever seen one of these. I had to add it to the collection. This thing is just so amazing. It's not all sun faded. Now I have seen a pretty awesome Sega Dreamcast one where it was the crazy taxi, but the whole front of it was sun faded. So this one is just so cool. This is the Twisted Metal RC radio control full function car. So this is pretty cool. Right here on the back it says that it takes 4 AA batteries and 1 9-volt battery, which are not included. And then it even tells you that there's different full functions on this control. So we have this pretty awesome vehicle in here. Then of course we have this really cool looking control for it. And everything is just very detailed. Looks like this is pretty awesome. It has a face on there, right on the top, and then even a face on this. Pretty awesome control right there. And then even on the top here it says Twisted Metal, and it's actually raised up in this plastic. So this is definitely a great find. It's one that's very uncommon. I've only seen this one in person before, and it's just another item that's gonna look great somewhere in the game room. So of course, anytime that I go there and I find something that's odd or different, I have to add it to the collection. So once again, all of these items were actually scored local, and they were scored at one of my favorite video game stores to go to. This is called ReGen. I'll go ahead and drop all of their information below, their social media, where you can contact them, and they are located in the mall. So finally, malls are opened up again. They have so many great items there. Every single time that I go in there, I find something else that I want, and usually, if it's a great deal, I'll pick it up right away. So this one in particular, this Twisted Metal RC car, was one that I've had my eye on for quite some time now. It was in very great shape, so I had to add it to the collection, and I'm just shocked that no one else picked it up sooner. So next time I go in there, I'll probably get some other items. I did see some pretty cool fight sticks. They even had a Sega CDX. So they just have some really awesome items. They still have that Metal Slug 3 for the Neo Geo, which is very expensive. So they do have some great items. They do go to a lot of different conventions. So if you're not local or not in the area, and you end up going to one of the conventions that they go to, you may even be able to see them there and get some of their pretty awesome items, as they usually hold some of their better items for some of the upcoming conventions. So I know this year was a little bit crazy with that, but usually you can see them there, and they have tons of great deals. They're just really awesome people, and they have such a great store. So even though it's a little bit jam-packed and smaller, it's packed with tons of amazing items, and I've even seen some pretty awesome items go through that store. Some that I've missed out on, like that gold Game Boy camera, the one that's the Legend of Zelda special edition one. So I've just seen some really great items there. Some I actually pick up for my collection, and some actually get away. So of course I'll keep going back there, and I just love stopping in every single time, and I always walk away with at least something. So of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos, and stay tuned for more.